very warm welcome to yet another exciting session of Sprintex Pre-Boards 2020. So today we will be beginning with Diary of Anne Frank. I hope you have already watched the Umang series and the 9th and 10th channel where I had uploaded the video and where I actually taught you this chapter, right? So I taught you this chapter in both places. I hope you have watched that and then come to the spring test session so that you could relate to it more efficiently, right? So if you have not done that, guys, please do have a look because there I have given the full explanation of the chapter, right? So now we will be talking about what we are going to do in today's session, right? So today we are going to do, of course, the extract based question, long answer type question, short answer type question for 2 marks and 3 marks, right? So all of you guys are excited, right? So first of all, I want to really know from all of you, are the sessions going exciting? Are the sessions being helpful for you? How confident are you right now about your pre-boards? Do give me your answer in the chat box right now, right? So talking about the schedule for English, guys, do have a look and do note this down, right? So we have already completed till the ball poem and today we will be starting with the diary of Anne Frank, right? So few more sessions to go till 15 December. We are all very, very, very excited, super duper excited, right? Talking about the equally exciting sessions of the other subjects, let us go through the schedule of biology, which starts with life processes and ends with our environment, right? Next, we have the chemistry sessions from 26 November, starting with chemical reaction and equations, ending till periodic classification of elements, right? Math, starting from 1st December, real number, and ending with probability on 15th December. Physics starting from 25th, it has already started to sorry, it's ending on 13th December, right? And SST is going to start, it's already started again, started from 25th November and it's going to end on 14th December with map work, right? So please do have a look at all the sessions and do not miss out, guys. So in order to not miss out on any important notification, what you need to do is subscribe to the channel. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, guys, do hit the like, do hit the button of subscription and also hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out because these series are super duper amazing. It's only and only for your help, guys, right? So do not miss out and do not forget to hit the like button, right? Now I will be showing you the homework answer from the ball poem, right? So gaining and losing is a natural cycle. Many more boys before that boy, the young boy, had lost their balls. So here losing the balls means losing the near and dear ones, right? So losing, so it's a metaphor over here, right? Lost their balls is metaphor, of course, metaphor for all the important things, the near and dear things in our life, the precious things in our life, right? With which we are emotionally attached, and this process is going to go on forever. No amount of money can buy back the same ball, right? Buy back the same ball means the same thing with which we are emotionally connected, right? So it's talking about the emotional connection, right? Okay, money is external and it has its own limitation. Definitely. Why is it limited? Because it cannot bring back the emotional connect. It can only, help us in materialistic possessions, right? Wealth can never compensate with emotional losses, such as the loss of, ones, ONES, okay, one's near and dear ones, and also the childhood days, right? Thank you so much for your reaction, for your comments in the comment section, and always motivating for us, for all of us. Thank you so much, Neelam, Soham, and all of you guys, all of you, right? So now we will be starting with a beautiful quote from the chapter Anne Frank. So look at this wonderful quote. This is also by Anne Frank and about whom we are just now going to read. So I have already told you, if you ever get a chance to read the entire diary, this is just an excerpt from the diary that we are reading. So if you ever get a chance to read the complete diary, please do take that chance and read the entire diary. And how many of you have already done that? Please do let me know in the chat box. How many of you have read the entire diary? Right, and how is that, like, what's your feedback on that? So do comment in the comment section about your feedback if you have read the entire diary, so that the others are also motivated to read it, right? So let us look at this quote. How wonderful it is that nobody needs wait a single moment before starting to improve the world. So these kind of quotes by Anne Frank, who was a girl of 13-year-old, this this tells us how mature she was, right? She was definitely ahead of her age, right? So what is she saying? That we do not have to think for even a second before we take the action of starting to improve the world. So you tell me, guys, do you agree with this? And what are you thinking about improving the world? To improve the world, to make the change, you have to first be the change, right? So let us take a pledge together and start being that change. So whatever lessons we are learning, these are all lessons for not only giving in exams, but of course these are life lessons, right? So let us have a look at the very first extract. To enhance the image of this long awaited friend in my imagination, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. But I want the diary to be my friend, and I'm going to call this friend Kitty, right? So as I told you that you should be very, very, very well prepared with the text, so that you do not need to spend your time to read the entire extract. If you can go through the entire extract just at a glance, you can just um, recognize what is it going to say, and from where this has been taken from, right? So who is I here? Kitty and Frank, Anne's friend, or none of these? Come on, quickly tell me the answer in the chat box, and we will see how many of you actually get the answer correct. Very simple, guys. I here is Anne Frank, right? I think everyone has got this answer correct because this was the simplest. Moving ahead is, who is her long awaited friend? Her friend Maggie, Kitty, Diary, both B and C. Be very careful and then let me know the answer. Okay, so that's why I told you, let us have a look at the answer. It's both B and C, right? That means her friend Kitty and Diary. So both are actually one and the same person. It was a diary whom she named Kitty. Yeah. So that is why I told you that you should always go and read all the options, right? Do not miss out on any option, because most of you, what you would do in a hurry, you will just see Kitty and you will tick mark here, but you will not see the next option, that is diary. So both are correct. Okay. Acha, next is, what do most people do? Write only facts in their diary, write only feelings in their diary, only emotions in their diary, all of the above. This is, remember, this is according to the passage. So you need to refer to the passage. So what has been stated in the passage, according to that, you have to answer this. So what is going to be your answer? Definitely it is facts in their diary. So let me show you the passage where it is mentioned in case you are getting confused. Okay, I don't want to jot down the facts in this diary the way most people would do. That means most people, what do? They jot down facts in the diary. So this is what is the answer. I hope this is clear to you now. And now we will be checking the 2-mark questions. Are you guys ready for the 2-mark questions? Quickly type yes in the chat box so that we can proceed further. Right, so the first question is, paper has more patience than people. You have to elucidate on this fact. One second, let me take a separate color ink so that you can see what I am writing. Okay? Right. So, let us have a look. What can you write? So, paper has more patience than people, right? What do you think? Definitely people, when you say something to people, are they very good listeners? How many of you have actually been able to, narrate all your personal feelings, right? Or all your broodings, or all your, thoughts without any hesitation, to your friend. How many of you, to your, any of your friend? If you have that kind of friend, you are lucky enough. But usually people have this fear that they will either judge us, or they will be, whatever we are, trying to tell a friend, he or she is going to be, we want them to keep that as a secret, but your secret is no longer going to be revealed. I mean, it's no longer going to be kept as a secret. It's going to be absolutely revealed, right? So we always live in a fear, and so the innermost thoughts and feelings are always suppressed, right? So it's not good to suppress our innermost thoughts and feelings. It's better to vent it out so that we are free from inside, right? So that is exactly why Anne needed someone, right? But she could not find anyone so close. She had friends, but not that close, to whom she could express her innermost thoughts and feelings, right? So people are not always interested in listening to what we say. Either they lose patience, right? So they lose patience. So here we are only talking about the patience part. So we will only go with that because it's just for 2 marks, right? Okay. This should be actually for 2 marks. I'm sorry for that. This is for 2 marks, okay? Not 3, 2 marks. Let me correct this 1 second. Right? This is for 2 marks. Okay? 1 second. This will come for 2 marks only, so let's be prepared with that as well. Even if it is for 3 marks, you just need to elaborate a bit, but for this it's enough, right? It's not so with paper. We can pour out all our feelings in a diary, right? Or we can say anything to our paper. It is not going to be without the fear of being judged, right? So actually we are having no judgment, right? So judgment free zone we are entering into. A so paper is basically what? Judgment free zone, right? And then definitely it has more patience. So definitely, that is, we can definitely pour our innermost broodings and feelings without any hesitation, right? So even if it is for 3 marks, you can just add this point, right? So I've actually discussed this question both for 2 and 3 marks, right? So this can come for 2 mark as well. And even if it comes for 3 marks, you can definitely now see, now answer this question without any fear, right? Next is the question for 3 marks, right? From the diary of Anne Frank throws light on the teacher-student relationship. This is an important question, guys. Class atmosphere and discipline. You need to write a paragraph on the values, okay, of these aspects of school and how far these values are necessary for learning and life. So this is basically talking about contemporary relevance as well. Okay. So how far is this applicable in your life? So basically contemporary relevance, or you can also say, practical application. Okay. So practical application, how can you further apply this in your life, right? So definitely it describes the teacher-student relationship, how the class atmosphere and discipline. For example, Anne, who is very talkative, she gets punished by her maths teacher, Mr. Keesing, right? And what does he ask her to do? He asks her to write essays, which is actually learning in disguise, right? Learning in disguise. Why? Because when she is writing essay, she is learning, right? She's learning so many things. She's writing, she is, improving her writing skills, improving her thinking skills, analytical skills, argumentative skills, right? She's learning a lot, right? And she also wants, he also wants her to focus on studies. He cannot be blamed for the punishment, as he did it for the development of Anne. So he is actually concentrating on the wholesome development of Anne, talking about his her argumentative skills, her writing skills, etc., etc. Right? So teacher-students relationship is very, very, very sacred, and it's respectful. It is about the discipline and classroom manners, which is essential. So even if you talk in the classroom, it's so difficult for the teacher, right? So a definite decorum is needed for the classroom to go well, right? So otherwise learning would definitely be hampered. This relationship is shown in between, shown in Mr. Keesing and Anne Frank's action, because both, they are trying to joke on each other. So they are creating basically a jovial atmosphere, okay, and also, fun, enjoyment. These are essentials. These are the essentials. If we become very dull and monotonous in the class, and only a strict disciplinarian and strict authoritarian without the element of fun in the classroom, then class becomes very dull and boring, and the students do not feel the, energy and the enthusiasm to learn, right? So, it should be humorous, but the humor should be healthy. That is also essential. So this healthy relationship is indeed everywhere in the class for effective learning. It's needed everywhere in the class for effective learning. So healthy relationship, and there should be a balance. Okay, there should be a balance between humor, discipline, everything should be there, right? And the student-teacher relationship is very, very, very important for the class to function effectively, right? So I would write here in here, student-teacher relationship, okay, healthy relationship, and balance in the class. These are balance between what? Balance between humor, okay, then discipline, right? These are the essentials in a classroom, okay, essentials of a class. This is very, very, very important, okay? So please include these points if you want, right? And now we will be seeing the next question, that is, Anne writes that it was fortunate that Mr. Keesing took the joke the right way. Why does she feel so? So first you have to mention the joke. What was the joke? And then you have to say that why does she think that she's fortunate enough, because Mr. Keesing took the joke in the right manner, right? So first of all, you have to mention the joke, right? So Mr. Keesing was annoyed with her talking habit, and therefore he gave her extra homework, right? Again, this is a learning in disguise, right? So talk about that also, learning in disguise. So this extra homework is basically a learning in disguise. So what are the topics? Please mention the topics. Don't forget to mention the topics. Be as detailed as possible. This is a 5-mark, this is a 3-mark question, right? So chatterbox, incorrigible chatterbox, quack, quack, quack. These are the topics. So Anne was determined to put an end to it. So she, with the help of a friend, wrote a poignant poem on this topic. She wrote a satire, okay, that a father swan bit his 3 baby ducklings to death because of her noisy nature. So basically, this was an attack on Mr. Keesing, right? This was an attack on Mr. Keesing, and this was a humorous attack. So basically, you can say that this was a HOMO, one second, ROUS, right? Humorous attack on Mr. Keesing. Okay, but so this was the joke basically. So you have to mention the joke, and then you have to say that why does she feel that he took it in the right way. So the professor took it lightly. He recited the entire poem in front of the class and also gave his remarks simultaneously. The author, being fortunate enough, who's the author, Anne, talked uninterruptedly after this incident without any further homework as punishment. Right? So definitely this is clearly evident that Mr. Keesing, the professor, also started cracking jokes now and then in front of the class. So definitely she understood that. Fortunately, it was otherwise, Mr. Keesing could get angry on her. That could also be done. But since Mr. Keesing, so this also reveals Mr. Keesing as a good teacher, right? So Mr. Keesing was actually a good teacher. Why? Because he took the joke in the right manner, and he was not, not a strict authoritarian. authoritarian. Okay, or you could say, not a strict disciplinarian, not a strict disciplinarian, right? So he maintained a healthy balance, right? Maintained a healthy balance. So actually, these are the points that you can include if this question comes for 5 marks. So if this question is for 5 marks, then definitely you need to include these extra points that I already gave you. That means this shows that Mr. Keesing was a good teacher. He was not a very strict authoritarian. He gave such a punishment, which would be turning into learning in disguise for Anne, because that would be developing her qualities, right? Like, what are the qualities that could be developed? Definitely her critical mind, her style of writing, her writing skills, thinking skills, right? All these. And now, guys, I hope you are very, 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 very enthusiastic about joining us. Yes or no? How enthusiastic are you about joining us? Do give me yes in the chat box. Are you enjoying the sessions, guys? Do you want to join us? Yes? So gain 100% knowledge and score 100% marks. Have unlimited live classes with unlimited fun and high level quizzes. Compete with the students throughout the world. Interactive replays with live quizzes and leaderboards. Premium downloadable content with handwritten notes of the master teacher. In class doubt solving and quality test and assignment. And this, mind you guys, is very, very, very important, because doubt solving is one such thing which is hurdle in your path of education. If your doubts are not solved, that means you're lacking the depth of understanding, which is very, very essential. Quality test, assignments, these are also important for your revision, for understanding the concept clearly, right? So these are only and only possible if you have the if you get enrolled in our platform, guys, because that is going to give you personalized attention. We have an entire team of class teachers who are going to take care of your doubts. You can interact with them live in the class along with the master teachers, guys, right? So you also get free 5,000 plus micro courses and crash courses for competitive exams, and you pay less price, you get more classes. Just visit the link in the description box and use the coupon code SWRPRO. And now let us do the Tabahi math and see, and let us check the price, guys. 50% off, 50% off. Offer valid till 30th November, guys. Springtech special offer. Do not miss this amazing offer, guys. You can have, for 6 months you have to pay 9999, 3 months 5499, and 1 month 1349, which comes down to basically 6 rupees per class for a month, 9 rupees per class for 3 months, and 6 months for 6 months, just 8 rupees. So which actually is cheaper than even a packet of Lays, guys. So what are you waiting for? Just hurry up and visit the link in the description box and pin comment. Use the coupon code SWRPRO. Coming back to our lesson. Okay. So how did Anne respond to the punishment by Mr. Keesing? First, you need to mention the punishment and then her response. And what light does it throw on her nature? So this is the 5-mark question. When Mr. Keesing punished her for her talkativeness again and again, so she was basically punished because of being talkative, and asked her to write one essay after another. She composed a poem on the incorrigible chatterbox and gave a message through it to the teacher. So basically this was a satire. So please mention that this was a satire, and the teacher got so impressed by her poem that he decided not to punish her. It shows that she was capable of writing good essay, right? And poems to win the heart of Mr. Keesing. It also shows her fearlessness, critical thinking, humility, and unbiased approach, as well as her creativity and humorous approach to deal with the strict teacher, right? So that is how she responded to the punishment of Mr. Keesing. Right, guys? So these are some important points that you need to understand. Moving ahead with the next question. Was Anne an intelligent girl? Support your answers from by giving instances. So what do you think? What are the points that you can write here in order to support your answers? Why do you think Anne can be an intelligent girl? Can be called an intelligent girl? Please do let me know in the chat box. 1 point each. Come on, 8 point bata do. 1 point. Okay, जल्दी से बता दो in the chat box. Why do you think that Anne, can be called as an intelligent girl? देखते हैं. Anne was an indeed intelligent girl. She was only 13-year-old, but her diary shows. ये मैंने beginning में ही बताया था. I started the session with a beautiful quote where I mentioned that this shows that she was ahead of her age. She was mature. She decided to write this diary because she felt that paper is more patient than people. Now, this kind of thought for a 13-year-old child is really showing her wisdom and critical thinking. It is showing her depth, right? So she is not superficial. She has depth in her thoughts, right? So moreover, she proved the necessity of talking. So when the teacher gave her the essays to write, right, she could have, what do people do usually when you don't know what to write on any topic? People usually leave big spaces in between, enlarge your letters, enlarge your words, right? But Anne did not want to do that. Anne wanted to write something substantial, right? So wanted to write something substantial, right? So this shows her argumentative nature, right? So argumentative skills, right? So she proved the necessity of talking, and this is what is showing her argumentative skills. She defended a rabbit as hereditary. So what did she give as her defense? First, that it is hereditary, and I have taken this from my mother because my mother is also talkative. And then she also said that this is a problem. This is a trait found in students, right? So 2 points she had also she had mentioned. So also write the second point. That means usually found in students. Okay, this one, that the necessity of talking. This is one point, and this is the other point, that is hereditary. Okay, and then she wrote a fine poem and turned the joke on the teacher. All these instances show her intelligence, right? So these are the things that you need to mention when you are asked, was Anne an intelligent girl? This is basically a character based question. Okay, right? So definitely this is a character based question. They have not asked about Anne's character sketch directly. They have twisted the question, but basically the content is almost the same in a miniature form. This is a character based question, right? Now, the last question that we are going to cover for 5 marks is, Anne was really a loss for the literary world. This is basically also covering the entire chapter, right? So theme based, character based, whatever you can call. So you need to analyze the statement and pen down a character analysis. So as I told you, this is directly, instead of directly asking, please throw light into the character of Anne Frank and all. They have kind of twisted this question. So let us quickly see what can you write. At 13, Anne is the youngest member of the 8 people hiding in a space called the secret annex in her father's office building to escape persecution by the Nazis. I have already mentioned the historical background. So this is basically verging on the historical background. So you have to give a little bit of the historical background, not the entire long one, but points, bits and pieces to relate your answer, to connect your answer with that. Otherwise, it would be, very abrupt. Okay, Anne is creative and intelligent. So basically, when you are talking about her creativity and intelligence, I have not mentioned here, but you need to take points from the previous answer. Okay, previous answer where you already have described how you can call her intelligent, right? So when you are talking about her intelligence, go to question number 6. Okay, answer number 6 or question number 6, whatever you say. So please take the points from there, because we have already mentioned that. She struggles to maintain her independence under the watchful eye of so many adults in a small space. So she was locked down, just as we were. But how did you spend your lockdown? Did you spend it like Anne did, writing diary? Or you spend it using, your smartphones and watching series, Netflix and chill kind of thing, right? So what we do nowadays, we should also try and inculcate this habit of writing diary, just as Anne Frank. So how beneficial it is going to be for us, right? It's going to improve our writing skills a lot, right? So that is what Anne did. Over the course of her time in the annex, she goes through puberty. So it's very difficult. Puberty is a period of, as I keep telling you, storm and stress. The adolescence period, it's so difficult. You have to undergo so many changes. You could definitely relate to it, because you all are hitting your puberty right now. You all are adolescents right now, teenagers. So you undergo various changes, right? We all undergo various changes, physical, psychological, both boys and girls. Of course, they are kind of different for both, but definitely they have the same feelings, right? The emotional part is the same, right? And becomes determined to stand on her own, right? So this fierce independence, we have already done this in Amanda, right? When we did the poem Amanda, we also saw that Amanda was an adolescent girl and how she wanted to be independent. So this fierce independence is there in the teenagers. So similar was the case with Anne as well. And she was locked in this space, right? So she was not independent in that sense. She was locked up in a small space. She could have, felt suffocated, and she said that she felt suffocated sometimes, right? So how did she undergo? She overcome that. She writes one of the famous diaries. She becomes one of the most famous diarists of all time. Her life is cut short when she and her other residents are discovered. I have also already mentioned that they were finally discovered, right? And then she dies from typhus, right? It is undeniable that Anne could have become a top figure in the literary field, but unfortunately, she died at a very tender age, right? So definitely this is highlighting that Anne was really a loss for the literary world, because if she would have lived longer, she would have contributed a lot more to the literary world. At 13 years of age, she contributed so much that we are reading about her right now. She became one of the famous diarists. Her diary was published, right? And it was translated into so many languages, right? So that is enough to speak about her um, literary genius, and definitely her maturity, much ahead of her age, right? So that was all for today, guys, and I hope you are now absolutely fine with the chapter Anne Frank, Diary of Anne Frank. We have completed the extract based question, long answer type question, 2-mark answers and 3-mark answers as well, right? So this is the homework question for all of you. Grandma had a significant place in Anne's heart. You need to explain this, right? So please comment on this homework question in the comment section, and we will let you know. We will see your comments. I will definitely read out all. I do read all your comments, right? So thank you so much for being so supportive and writing all the homework answers in the comment section, because that is also improving your writing skills, right? So please write your answers on your own and post it in the comment section. Okay? So guys, next we will be doing a very interesting session on the 100 dresses 1 and 2. Both parts we will be taking together. We will not separate both of them, because the story is continuing in the second part. So it's not wise enough to separate both the parts. It leads to confusion, right? So that is why I will take both of them together. So that is going to be our next session. The previous session has already been taken on the ball poem. I hope you have already watched. If you have not watched, guys, please do watch it. Okay? And don't forget to visit the link in the description box and use the coupon code SWRPRO. And if you have not subscribed as yet, please do subscribe, okay? And share the video as much as possible, so that be the large-hearted person, so that your friends can also learn. Okay, spread the learning, right? So thank you so much. Take care. See you again in the next class. Bye bye.